E from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. It is about 10 o'clock, news coming out, ISM and new home sales. And one of the things we want to pay attention to are ideas that are repeatable. And typically, if there's news coming out, a conservative trader is going to want to take profits ahead. And that usually will cause a reaction, a contra, as it were. So far we've got this boxed into just the way we want it, fairly neutral, not going too far. In the first half hour. And anybody that has played short side and takes profits, if you want a second entry, you can take one, but keep the idea of just hit and run, in my opinion. Because it has found the support zone tested the first time it's held. We know that if we're making lower highs and lower lows, we have to start chasing lower and lower. And at one point we chase too low, just take your stop out if it doesn't work. So this perspective is pretty helpful right now. We had a marginal low. We had said, let's think of, you got to get by 82s to 85. So far, we've not done that. So that's the first red flag for the short side today, to be careful. And you know how we had talked about this guy right here, potential. Some support right now, we're like a squeeze pivot. Burden for the longs is to get back up on top and stay on top of this black bar and get back up in here and then knock out the high. That's going to take a little bit of time, I think. Morning after trend day, we said think of it as muted. If you get lucky enough to test 85 to 82, make sure you are paid. I'm thinking very small right now, hit and run. Look how accurate this chart was. Lower lows, lower high right now. Morning after trend day, testing for support. We have not broken down support yet. This is a marginal low. And we can see NQ. Marginal low, holding the bottom of the pipe from yesterday and basically a tad above the pipe. This is a double bottom. Range type trade. And this will be key resistance back here near that 80. That was a breakdown right there. At some point, may want to get retested. This is a 10-minute chart. We're dime off the floor already on the mini. I said two-way day and be very careful about getting caught today. Morning after trend day, but think of it as a hit and run type trade. Look how fast they can jack it right back on you. Two-way day. I suggested we had two-way day. Morning after trend day. I still believe the best odds are for morning after trend day to hit a bounce. But it could be it turns into whack-a-mole. If we get a Z pattern, we could get lower low and get a higher high and still come back in. So don't rule out that possibility that we could still take out the highs and then still get one more short today. And we can see right now, if you really want to look at the true range that's being articulated, it's got to be the high from overnight and this low right here. So that puts 91.12 right in the middle, right? Because there are 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's your middle right there, right now, of this swing from high to low. All right. So need to be paid 91s to 95s. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to share some common sense ideas, not trying to make this like rocket scientist stuff. You'll see guys with all kinds of stuff on their charts. I'm trying to show you a few basic tools and how we can use them to understand the nature of the beast. Thank you, Zeke. All right, this is morning after trend day, and bounces have been hit a couple of times. Let's put the A and D on. Angels and demons. See what we've got. There's your angel. There's your next resistance zone up in here into that 93, which certainly makes sense. Maybe we can hit 1 or 2 bounces this morning, but I wouldn't go crazy with expectations. We'd expected fairly tight range. And the reason is, first of all, we got stolen range. Look at this stopping volume here. So we need time for the patterns to play out. And you can see just how tight this is. We said that would be part of today's challenge. And so we may get a slim jim that forms, and then we'll see a break one way or the other later. I would not be in a rush to think about big moves. This guy is our demon right here. This guy's our angel right here, and in between, right in here in this 89 area. And it's got to be the middle zone for RTH. In between the angel and demon. Very hard to play both directions. I don't advise that right now. Just too hard. If you miss one side, then you can try the other, obviously. Because right now I think we've got some range type trading. And this is your angel right here. Small rotation, probably the 92s to 87s. If you've had a good morning already and got your VIG already, got your 3 or 4 points even, or even 2, don't have to do all your action in one location and one time frame. Spread it out. Now, remember yesterday morning, we had a very quiet first hour. It didn't seem like we were going to do much of anything. And then all of a sudden, all you know what breaks loose. So don't get complacent and don't think that the market cannot make a big move, because it can do so at any time it chooses to. And so far, that 82 is holding. And that's just a theoretical idea that we had this morning that that might work. And so I've got to say that's probably the best chart that we've been able to use. Now, if you're looking at something like the 15-minute chart, which we said we wanted to use, you can just see how this has helped. Main line has contained it. We got underneath these other lines, plunged down. Everybody thinks going to China, and snaps right back. And these supports, I look for a different color bar, black, white, black, white. That shows you where support has come in from the past. So far, still an edge to the shorts for morning after trend day. Hit a bounce or two, we said. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Take your stop out and try one more from maybe a higher area. Forgot to post that. I typed that, but forgot to post that there. Paid 91 to 95. We said could be chop us to smithereens today. And only if you let it. Now, this is a 15-minute chart, and sometimes we can look at other charts to see what makes sense, but that's our base chart. I expect today, anytime we get a bungee like this, I expect the next day we can do the same, try to find support, and then obviously some news event could jack it the other way. So cautiously optimistic about the short side, and then take your stops when the trade doesn't work. And it would appear to me that it's shaping up for that 87.5, 88 area to be some kind of a pivot. This chart very helpful right now. And if you want to look at something faster, then look at a 5 or a 10. And understand, for this chart to work, you need to stay underneath this pink line to give you an edge. And if you get too far away from it, Morning after trend day traders, stops down. This was our original overnight low in the 85s. Remember, we had that 85.5 magnet. We're not going to get every wiggle correct. Nobody does. Take what you can out of the market. Here's a 2. And a 1. very fast for me. I rarely look at these charts. And this is morning after trend day in all its glory. I'm again suggesting think conservatively. Doesn't mean we can't drop like a stone, but it just means that that's not the first thought in my head. The first thought is, can you get something out of these little swings for now? Now, here's a profile order flow. And notice how this 83.5 shows up on the chart over here. So two different ways that we showed how that could be an important neighborhood. So I don't believe there's any one methodology that's necessarily better than another. It's just things that you learn how to read and help you with your analysis and allow you to be successful. So whatever charts work for you, use them. 95.5 area here. We said that should be a key idea. We were expecting that the shorts will need to penetrate and get through this 85 to 95 zone. And similarly, obviously, for the longs, they've got to try to get above that 95 and back to that 05, 02, 05, and the shorts need to defend that zone. Plenty of time left in the day. Time will tell. But after this, I guess they call that the P shape or whatever. Probably because anybody who's long is peeing their pants, I guess. But you can see the low volume nodes and single tickers that need to be filled back in. And you can see just how valid that idea that we had yesterday, that back there at 12 to 18, be very careful. And now that's set up as something significant. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zeke. Anyways, look at a number of different style charts, and the ones that help you can use. Now, this is a 30-minute look. And I like the perspective of that, but if you want to put it on something smaller, I am guessing you can. To see the rotations and whatever. And again, I'm not an expert on this stuff, so take whatever I'm saying as the delusions and rantings and ravings of an old man. So anybody that's got something out of the first hour, good for you. Lock it up, spread out your trades, try a couple during the day, try to get your VIG, and then get on with your life.